Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to some more Stationeers. Apologies, I know it's been a couple of days, it's been a little while between drinks. I saw all the feedback that people really want to see more Stationeers, so stand by, there's going to be a fair bit. But if you were following the channel, we did have the next fest to cover, and that sort of snuck up on me from out of nowhere. So now that that's done, we're going to get back into the swing of things. So like I said, as long as you guys keep watching it and keep being vocal and letting me know, then hey, there's no reason this can't be another hard space and we do 200 episodes or something. Anyway, so I've built another thing. We've got basic industry, right? And I want to move everything indoors as soon as possible. Now, there's probably something to be said about trying to find out like a min-max way of placing these sort of crates around a room. I wonder, actually, it looks like I can put one sort of dead center. How does that look when they're all closed up? That's not so bad, to be honest. Yeah, that's pretty good. We might do that. Let's put this copper in the machine just to get it out of my inventory. So, yeah, look, I'm just going to do a little... We're just going to go baby steps, yeah? We're going to do some reactionary sort of building. Just build as function requires or deems it. That's why we're just building the cases now. Oh, I did not put that away. And, yeah, I guess one step at a time. And then we'll go from there, because quite a bit of stuff's been added. Like even, you get a microwave now and a ground penetrating radar. That's pretty cool beans. And so for those that might be joining us fresh-ish, you know, maybe Stationeers is kind of new for you. Essentially, we're going to get hit with a storm, like a sandstorm, and anything not bolted down is going to get blown away, and that's about 7 days into the game. And look, we're already probably, what's this, probably our second night? Including our lander. Our lander will go, so ultimately we're trying to get all this crap indoors. Yeah, that can go in there. I don't think we need it too much. Yeah, ground penetrating radar. That should be interesting to play with, to be honest. Should be, I'm assuming the Mark 1 sort of drill exists in some way as well, the straight down, and I wonder how that could potentially combo with the new sort of mole car. Like it's like a drill that drives into mountains, right? But who's to say I can't drill out little bloody like boring holes? Well, it's a bit bigger than a basic hole, but you know what I mean? Well, who's to say I can't just do that? Is this the last container? It is too. Who's to say I can't just drill straight down and then maybe try and set the vehicle up in some way to drill out horizontally, sorry, and have something interesting come from that? Who's to say, indeed? Probably swap that. Oh, have I got a spare? Ooh, spare masking tape. Very cool. Gaffer tape holds the world together. Don't forget. Liquid canister. Oh. Well, isn't that something? I think that's new. One, two, three, four, five, 8 slots. Oh, we're coming 2, 4. Oh, okay. We're coming up against it. So yeah, I've been really curious. Like we said, Icarus is the next game from this mob. We're going to have to... Oh, hang on. Do we not start with... We don't start with a water tank. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay, game. Hand drill, yeah? Okay. You know what, I might just doubt the storm, unless they've moved it. The storm shouldn't come to us just yet, so let's just pop all this crap off first. God, what was I even bloody talking about? I don't know, I got distracted, as I want to do. Oh, Icarus, right? Yeah, I'm still very excited to see how that goes. So, as I've commented, generally speaking, when it comes to the art style of a game, I love the art style in this game, actually. Mostly because I find that if you chase what I call, I don't know what the term is, maybe realism is the right term, but I call it like high fidelity realism, right? Which if you look at Icarus, you'll know what I mean, right? Like your daisies and all that sort of stuff. Oh, am I only allowed to carry so many of these crates? Right, these games where they're trying to look realistic, and all you got to do is give it a couple of years, and they're going to look, well, I don't want to say garbage, but they generally don't age that well unless it's like absolutely life-changingly good graphics, right? So that's why I prefer something like this, which is a bit more Fortnite-y in that it has its own self-contained look. It has its own artistic style and flair that will age much more appropriately because it's kind of self-contained. So I wonder about Icarus, but that wasn't even the point I was getting at. Hang on, let's see. Now, as soon as I untether that, it's going to start interacting with the environment. Like, it should be a sort of fixed state. It says 20 degrees, right? That's 7 MPa. We're going to need somewhere to put it. It'd be good if I could secure it, if that, that was an option, but not really. I mean, I guess I could just bloody jam it in the corner here. They're always trouble. We haven't built the door yet, I suppose. Yeah, stuff it. Let's do it. Let's just do it and be done with it. Yeah, I guess what I was worried about is, I don't actually really subscribe to the sort of hate-mongering of bloody Dean Rocket. I think we have to pull that off first, maybe. For those not across it, the guy who did like DayZ, this is his brainchild, this game, and Icarus in turn is the same thing as well, right? And people accuse him of pissing off to climb Mount Everest and all that and run away from projects. I don't think they really understand how much weight he actually holds in the design process in these studios. It's more just, I don't know. I don't know for sure, but it seems pretty popular to say, oh, you left DayZ in a broken state and ran off. And my friends, I don't think DayZ was ever meant to be more than an interesting concept. But so many people dreamt of it as a kid. Like, I think DayZ is a manifest version of what you as a child wanted to be a video game, which is cool, but it's a first draft. Anyway, I'm not trying to run interference for him, but I feel like the hate is disproportionate as well. So a lot of people are worried that he's going to run away from potentially this project as well to the next one, which, well, I guess if he was going to do it, this would be the time to find out, right? I think it would be fair criticism at that point, right? But the fact that they keep churning out all these updates, I mean, I guess they're approaching 1.0. I'd be curious what sort of support this gets after 1.0. But, if the haters were right, think about it. If he was going to abandon this project, if Rocketworks were just going to run, surely they would have done that already. Do you know what I mean? But if anything, they're churning out more updates for this game than they ever have. So presumably they've scaled up their entire operation over there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do a 2x2 here, and I might make an adjoining sort of 2x2 space there. Not necessarily even seal it, but this will be our next sort of workspace. That's why I put this here as a bit of a landing area. Anyway, like I said, I'm not trying to start a fight because people get so impassioned about it, right? They feel personally attacked or cheated because DayZ wasn't what they wanted. And like, it's... I respect the passion, but it's impossible to have a rational conversation with that person that just wants to fight everyone because DayZ didn't turn out the way they wanted it to. But yeah, that's the one thing I'm really curious about is how this game goes post Icarus launch, right? When they've got the shiny new toy, does he in fact live up to all the negative buzz? And like, it's one of those things that makes you wonder who's in his inner circle. I'm not trying to put this man up on a pedestal, but I talk about like developers that are so detached, right? There's no one in their inner circle that actually bloody tells them the truth or tells them what they really need to hear. And then they'll release a shit game because everyone was too busy patting them on the back and no one stopped to say, hey, maybe you shouldn't push this ideology or this, that, or the other, right? So I have to wonder if, if he's aware of that reputation that follows him, whether it's unwarranted or not, or does he even give a fuck? Does he care? I'm curious. But this will be the moment. This will be the moment to turn the defenders, the people like me. We're going to pull this wall down and we're going to replace it with wall. The people like me, right, that are basically sort of, we don't ascribe to the sort of hate and concept that he's running away from project to project, losing interest. But I tell you what, if that's what happens with Stationeers, if they shelve it in a not great state, well, like I think that'll be interesting. However, this does raise an interesting point about supporting games post 1.0. Here we go. I'm starting to think now. Which way do I want the wall facing? I guess it doesn't matter, actually. I could have it face either or. In fact, both, potentially. Let's just put one like that. Right, so it's come to people, as much as people will whinge and complain about, games as a service, these games that have to be always connected onto the internet and keep going on. I can understand the pushback. The same people out the other side of their mouth will quite often expect that you keep patching and updating the game after 1.0. Whereas I'm sort of like, if your game's in final product in 1.0 state, ship it, finish with it, never touch it again, never patch it, or like maybe patch bugs, but you know what I mean? But people expect it to be looked after well after launch. So, I don't know. Is it unreasonable to expect this to have support after 1.0? I think it is, but I would say modern culture would be against me on that. Anyway, so this is all done, pretty much. I think we might finish constructing this door so as to have a safe haven, because this is still loose. I don't know how the dust is going to interact with this sitting in here loose. Plastic sheet. Anyway, I want to sort of ramble, but yeah, colour me curious. Glass sheet. Colour me curious. Crowbar. But yeah, I'm still very much hyped for Icarus, and I will keep spruiking about it. Like I said, if you're a fan of this and you find yourself watching this, then you should do yourself a favour and look into Icarus and make sure you're across it. That's interesting. They've lost charge. I wonder if that's temperature related. All of them have. I mean, it makes sense. Is this on? No. Maybe the sun's still too shallow. Presumably that would be flash. There you go. Good timing. Okay, so below about what? That might be 30 degrees from the top of it. Hard to say for sure. Maybe higher. It won't charge. It seems like enough for my small little setup. Okay, cool. So this is good. This is fine. That's all we really need it to be at the moment, right? We will have to develop some sort of cooling system, but for the moment, this is basically a glorified cupboard. So that's fine. All right, we've got our little workspace here. Now, I guess. Oh, looks like we've got that might be ice and that might be oxide. I'll tell you what, all the minerals are way more plentiful than they used to be. They used to really make you bloody work for them. Okay, well, I guess let's go through the inventory and start figuring out what we're going to do, right? So, seeds. Getting hydroponics up and running, bang, big deal. Getting some sort of gas refill is probably a pretty big deal as well, though the temperature is pretty forgiving, so we don't have to cycle our gases so fast. We've got a spare door if we want to make some sort of airlock. How would we do that if we're going to make a master sort of base? Here we go. Let me just break this down. People were talking about they find the way people build interesting. If you've seen, I build everything in like Roman roads and modular squares because that's what gets my bloody engine revving. All right, I don't give a shit about aesthetics or anything like that. I want functionality. And in a 3D space, that's what I worked it out to be. So this little modular room is this I want to just repeat a million times over, right? So to give you an idea, there would be 4 of these in a 2x2 meta configuration, right? So these 2 squares here would be an identical room like that back 2 squares, and then we'd have another 2 sort of little habitats here. So then that thing becomes this giant, well, I guess it's a 4x4 at that point. Now, if the room requires it to be larger than this small room, which is very likely, we might have larger rooms to consider, you can knock all the walls out and now you can turn it into this meta block, right? Then it's going to be skirted by a corridor one size around, and you can see this is another 2x2 developing, and just like that design here, here's a door frame on the left. The door frame will go here, and the same thing would open out. Now, if you really wanted to make a super big room, you could fold this corridor into that room, and you could go even bigger. I guess that would be 4 plus a corridor plus another 4, right? So you could make a 9x9. So that's how I sort of envision it. Now, as far as going into 3D space, I suppose it'd be straight up and down like a skyscraper. But in all of this, I'm sort of like, well, how do we airlock this base? And I guess there's 2 options, right? There's one where I just airlock off of the corridor, and the corridor is only 1 wide. That's a very sensible option. There's another one where I could turn one of these 2x2s into a dedicated airlock room, which is pretty cool as well. Though I'd have to come up with an unusual design because you'd have the door into the base, but then you'd have a door out as an airlock at some point, maybe? Yeah, so something to think about. I guess I could put one on the end here. Maybe we just start with a temporary one, like a door. Well, that's the other thing, is I could potentially end each corridor with like an access door, like a small airlock, and maybe I could even have a master airlock. The choices are endless. Anyway, the whole reason for considering this is because we have to think about how we're going to seal this base, how we're going to do vacuum or deal with growing food. Also, water is something we're going to have to think about, though they've given us a lot of water. So we'll need some sort of water reclamation, some sort of capture device. Yeah, but how much is in this water canister actually? Actually, how much is in this water canister? I just re-asked that question. 3,000 kPa. Hang on a sec. Oh, I can't look at the canister? What does that work out to be? It's probably a fair bit of water jammed in that little canister. Okay. All right. What else have we got? Yes, look, so seeds are the main thing. This is going to decay down fairly quickly. I wonder what happens to it when it decays. That's like, do I need to seal this somewhere? I don't know. And then we've got like a solid generator. Yeah. So we could probably put that in this sort of pseudo workshop. Though having this out to vacuum is still probably a pretty cool thing. Like having a vacuum space. So we might even need to change that. But yeah, sealing the walkway is probably the go. So that's where we're going to go with it for next. All right. So door, 2x2. I think it would probably make the most sense to. It's really fun to be finally putting this into practice. Yeah, it would make sense to have that represented as a corridor corner. Yeah. Though, yeah, it'd make expansion easier. Let's do something like that. Right. So we're going to go swap the door. Composite door. I think composite door is the best we can offer at the moment for, what are you doing, Scarlet? You want to put it there? There we go. I think it's got the higher yield, right? For, the higher pressure differential ability. Though they said they've introduced new windows that can handle it. Yeah. Yeah. I think the general wall kits should be able to handle stuff. Like having these as a floor makes sense, but I don't think we need to keep using the frames, which is probably a good thing because we're running out. Let's just put the wall there for the moment. Yeah, this'll work. This'll work, but yeah, you can already see it's probably going to be, if I'm going to have an external sort of area, I might end up sort of migrating it out here sort of thing. But that's okay. It's part of the fun is figuring all this out. Looks like our battery's all charged up quite well. Swap that out. Oh, well, let's get this bloody sealed. 10? I don't think that's going to go very far. We also need a door. Potentially. I guess I could pull this door down, but what do you need? Oh, there you go. Look, I'll just make you. I'll just make you and we'll be right. There we go. But I wouldn't mind some more. No, stop that, please. I wouldn't mind some more sheets, of which we can make bucket loads. I don't know. Let's get her up to 20. We'll see how that goes. Right. Door. Opposite door. Alright. Now, I haven't really come up with an air conditioning system just yet. Like, as much as I'd love to just bloody stand around and talk theory the whole time, it has its limits when you're doing 30-minute episodes, right? So we've got to do sort of smaller projects. Oh yeah, that's right, we can just paste these on, can't we? So first we'll just worry about sealing this bad boy, which is happening faster than I thought it would. Alright, not bad. Not bad. We're going to need plastic and glass, aren't we? Crowbar. Oh, there you go. Lickety split. We've got a sealed corridor. So, now what? Well, I guess having the airlock be able to cycle is probably a good start. And, I guess we could use that. Because the problem with putting that wall paneling up is it becomes a bit of an obstruction. Can I get in there? Oh, I can. That's cool. So if we tear that off, that actually might be a bit easier to panel up, right? Now, we started this on the previous playthrough. Geez, we might need to do something about these solar panels. Let's just double check. No chance. Pan, nope. Okay, we're going to have to make the electronics printer. Okay, cool. Yeah, we started doing this last time because advanced airlock. Okay. I'm not really a big airlock bloke. Read. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to, Alright, so there we go. We've got normal airlock and we've got advanced airlock. That's interesting. Right, we're going to need the data disk. We're going to need console times 1. Valve times 2 sounds good. Pipe, yeah. What are you? Active vent. What else have we got that might be helpful? Solid generator, not so much. Sensor. There we go. Yeah. I think that's just about everything that we could need. Now, it's not a perfect system, not by any stretch, because we've got a 2 atmosphere setup. But we'll do what we can, right? So, let's see, we're going to need this. Now that's the thing that throws me as well. Cable. Did I spend every single piece of cable? Is that how this all went down? Can you just give me a little bit of cable, please, game? I'll have to make 2 because you always round the ingots off because the game will do it for you. And then you're going to be cheating yourself out of half a bloody ingot. All right. Yeah, this is what throws me. I can get it through the corner. Yeah, the question is, we've got door frames like that. What's the best place to run the cable through? And it's got to be surely it's the corner. But we need a rule, right? If it's the left side, it's got to be like left-hand drive, surely. Unless we want to... Oh, hang on, you can run it over the top. Well, then that's that, isn't it? We're just going to run it over the top. We're just going to run it over the top. Okay. Let's have a quick sip. The reason I'm doing that is I'm trying to figure out where to lay out all my crap. We already had a big sip on this one. Jeez, we're going through it. We're going... Oh my goodness, look at that. Our power is going down. Yeah, so I guess we'd have the floors will cable in for sure, but we'll probably run a cable up one side or something like that, right? Yeah, I have to wonder. Maybe even something like that might work out. And then we can run the pipe up there too. Something like this can... Well, we want the gas sensor. So like something like that could go there maybe. And then this will just want a normal console. Console dual monitor. Probably console, but if I go and turn it sideways like that, it's gonna literally be sideways. So maybe we'll... Yeah, okay. Maybe what we'll do is Probably do that.
Before I go, there is one thing I'd like. Do you have a recent case? A case, say, in the last
Yeah, something like that is probably going to be the best. So we can run the cable under here and up there, and this can all join up to there as well. And then we can run the pipe that way. Yeah. But we'll see. That seems like a good start, I would say. All right, cool. Anyway, like I said, we're back in the saddle. Next fest is out of the way. Yeah, let me know what you reckon. But yeah, if we still have momentum, we'll just bang some episodes of this out because I'm keen. I'm keen to cut my teeth and get into it. All right, team, might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.